name is Julianna Burrows, and today you will learn how to make your very own non-sew blanket. For the purposes of today's demonstration, we will be making a 4-foot by 2-foot no-sew blanket. Before we begin, it is important to realize that you must allot yourself around 2 hours to make an adult-sized blanket, which is approximately 2 yards in length, and to allot yourself at least an hour to make a child-sized blanket, which is usually less than 2 yards in length. Let's talk about materials. First, you're going to need 2 pieces of equal size fleece. For this demonstration, as I had mentioned before, these 2 pieces of fleece are 2 feet by 4 feet. Now, when choosing fleece, it is most popular to choose one that is patterned and one that is corresponding in color. However, do whatever you please and whatever you feel looks good. Secondly, you're going to need a pair of fabric cutting shears, some ballpoint pins, a Crayola washable marker or a fabric pen, and a ruler or yardstick. So let's get started. First, we must lay the fleece flat out on a tabletop. Before we do that, it is very typical that one side of the patterned fleece will be blurry and the other side will be clear. To ensure that your blanket will be clear when it is finished, make sure that you lay the non-blurry side face down on the tabletop. Then we will take our second piece of fleece and lay it smoothly over the first piece that was laid. Now it's time to trim our edges. So take your fabric cutting shears and first trim any edge that is the label left by the manufacturer. I will go ahead and do that now. Next, we need to trim off any unevenness between the 2 fleeces. Sometimes you're going to have to flip the 2 pieces over to really notice any unevenness between the 2 pieces. Now we have all of our uneven edges trimmed, and we're ready to pin. Pinning is important because it secures the 2 pieces of fleece together and ensures they do not move anywhere when you are making the blanket. When pinning, make sure you place the pins approximately 6 inches in from the edge of the blanket and approximately 3 inches apart from each other. Now we're ready to cut our corners. Take your ruler and your washable Crayola marker or your fabric pen and measure a 4 by 4 inch square in each corner. Then take your fabric shears and cut out your square. Now it's time to measure our 1 inch by 4 inch strips. Because we already have a 4 inch cut in the corners of each of our blanket, it is easy to use this cut as a guideline to lay down our ruler. All we have to do now is make a mark with our Crayola washable marker at every inch along the ruler. Once we have done this, we are going to move the ruler down and mimic the marks we had just made. We will be repeating this along each edge of our blanket. Find the 2 marks we just made with our marker, take your fabric shears, and cut a straight line up to the 4 inch mark. We continue cutting around the entire edge of the blanket. As you can see, we have all of our edges cut and they're ready to be tied. Tying your knots is key because that's what keeps your blanket together. Take your bottom and top strip and the knotting goes as follows. Over and through with the top strip, over and through with the bottom strip. As you can see, we've got all of our edges tied. Now we're ready to remove our pins. And we're all finished. These blankets are really warm, they're great as gifts, and they'll never fray. And as you can see, these blankets are really simple to make. So go home and enjoy your new blanket.